Okay, so let's go ahead and download the Levelator from conversationsnetwork.org/Levelator. The link is also in the post. You can see it's cross-platform for Windows, Mac, and Linux. I'm going to download the latest version of the Levelator. It's version 2.1.1. I've went ahead and downloaded it already, and you can see once you do download and open, it creates a little window that just hovers. You can drag and drop it where you'd like. All you have to do is take the file that you'd like to level out and drag and drop it on there. It has to be a WAV file or an AIFF file, which are uncompressed files. It currently doesn't work with MP3, so if you do have an MP3, just re-export it as a WAV and you should be fine. So I've taken using Audacity, which is an open source audio editor, which is also free. I'll have another post showing how to use that and just how great of a program it is. But Audacity, what I've done is I've taken a small section of a recent sermon from our pastor at our church, and you can see, looking at the waveform, and this is typical of a waveform. This one actually looks pretty good, but at the beginning there's some lower area and volume, and during the middle and end it gets louder as a pastor goes up and down from speaking softly, maybe at a more serious point, and speaking loudly at a more exciting point in the sermon or something he's trying to make a point. So let's listen to how that sounds.
Maybe there's a particular challenge in your life. Maybe the personal pain is overwhelming. It's almost as if
It gets a little bit louder during this portion.
you've been hanging out with the young girls of Boaz. You know what the deal is. Tonight he's going to be winnowing barley.
Okay, so now what I've done is I've taken the original file, which was right here, and I drag it onto the Levelator. And this is going to go pretty quick because it's a small file. It would normally take longer than this for a typical sermon or message. But let's let this run through. And it's going to output the file wherever the input file is located. So we'll see that come up. Okay, and it just adds the word output to your file. And now I'm going to open that up in Audacity as well, so we can see. And I'll just let me just drag that into Audacity, and that way we can see them. And so okay, you can see what happens is now we have a perfectly leveled file from beginning to end, which is great. And it's also a great starting point for your audio editing process, because now I have a completely leveled file. I didn't have to do anything. Let's go ahead and hear that. I'm going to mute the top track so we don't hear that, and I'll play the bottom.
Maybe there's a particular challenge in your life. Maybe the personal pain is overwhelming.
Okay, and now if I move to what was formerly the louder section of the message,
Now, kind of an unfamiliar thing to us.
you can tell
Winnow barley
it's the same volume.
I don't know. Keep it to yourself.
So now I have a nice and balanced volume. You can tell that it didn't boost the beginning up so much that it created noise or anything like that. It just sounds like a nice leveled out, balanced audio file. So that's the awesomeness of the Levelator. Join me next post when we go over something cool. Thanks.